the venture beat.
That we do.
Now, I will say, look, honestly, and I know this is probably a little bit unprofessional, because everybody...
Oh my God.
Oh, Dora, I'm not going to say something bad.
Yeah, oh my God, these ads.
So everybody, basically see all of the stuff about Blizzard's ongoing issues and what they're doing internally. I honestly, I skim read it and I went to the game bit and I used the game bit for my video. So I don't give a shit about all that stuff. It's just, I mean, we cover it on a very regular basis on our news channel. And frankly, I didn't think there was anything super useful to say. And honestly, I think too, when it comes to, bowls of fruit, cack W, I'm just so tired of that. I want to talk and focus a little bit more about the game side of things.
Of course.
But yeah, the one bit we wanted to talk about actually just...
Yep.
Founders. There we go.
Yep.
Yes, no, the bit I wanted to go to here is just this. This did rub a few of us the wrong way, unfortunately. So this is for me. But a lot of what goes into 9.1.5 isn't a one-off. It's a reflection of us changing a lot of the underlying philosophies that have motivated our approach to designing WoW. Now, this is a really good start. Thumbs up. A lot of these things, like I mentioned regarding conduit energy, are outgrowths of lessons that were taught to us by our predecessors. If you're telling me the people who made WoW great in the current day, in the current environment, are going to look at conduit energy and think that that suits the game that you've designed now, then fuck me sideways. What's going on? Because, just by the way, if you're talking about, holding true to all of these lessons you're learning from your past leaders, then why are you designing your game like Destiny 2? Because, square peg, round hole. That's what's going on here, right? Some of these things can maybe work in an action RPG, but you're trying to have it both ways. And you're having the whole, MMO with long-term player investment and ARPG that's seasonal, that's super fast, blah, 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 blah. And you're trying to mash them together. And it's not ideal. And I don't like this bug passing. So these things are outgrowths of lessons that were taught to us by our predecessors. You don't just fucking download a mode of thinking into your brain. A good developer knows what is best for what they're doing now. They're going to know that old info is old info, that old practices are old practices. Old principles, are they still going to be relevant? Or do they need to be reinterpreted for the modern age, for the modern day? They probably do. They also don't say, these were taught to us by our predecessors and we just did them. No, you learn from your predecessors. And I would hope that if somebody learned those principles from their predecessors, that they would then apply them in a reasonable way that makes sense for the current game. So, as I said in the video we put up on the channel, I very much hope this is just how the words flopped out and not what they actually think. Because if they actually think this, then it's like, were you thinking for yourself for all of this time? And is that why you guys seem so stubborn? Because you basically weren't really thinking much? You were just kind of going on with this old knowledge? I mean, that's obviously a bit absurd. It's probably not, literally that, but you get what I mean. But yeah, things taught to them by our predecessors, by the founders and leaders of the team about the importance of meaningful choice, the importance of preserving character investment that may have led to us not being friendly to alt gameplay, and people's ability to get caught up on their alts. And it's just like, some of this stuff's just kind of insane, man. It's just kind of insane. Because character investment, it is really important. But you guys have continually degraded that yourselves. So what's going on there? Like, you're talking about basically, the importance of character investment has kind of held us back. Yet the game is the most speedy and fast food that it's ever been. Pretty much.
Yeah, that's really interesting to me because they talk about increasing catch-up in the same interview as well. I'm like, well, those are... I mean, obviously I understand catch-up as an idea. Yeah, but it's like that's so anti what investment is in a way. In a way, it depends on what they focus for.
But like they're framing their old... Oh my god, these ads are like making the page move. This is horrible. But like they're framing it here like, their old thoughts and player investment were holding the game back. It's like, no, it's It's your ability to support player investment in the game that is the problem, not the principle of player investment. So as we then move through, the reality is the way that people play the game has evolved. More than just that, you've designed the game to be played differently. What was the right answer to the WoW player base and for the game 15 years ago may not be today. There's some stubbornness, but cling to those old lessons. Some things that are hard to let go in your training, your education as a designer and a developer on the team has led to those things being instilled in you. Well, I don't know. Maybe this is just an institutional problem with Blizzard. Maybe they've always been very hierarchical, but man, you don't want to learn. You don't want to have lemmings. You don't want to encourage groupthink in your organization. You want to red team your own ideas, etc., etc. So I guess those things just didn't really happen. And that's just led to a bunch of people that, maybe that's just why the stubbornness was there, and this stubbornnness is what Ian's even admitted to. So there's just things like that are quite weird, and there are lots of things that it's like they're almost treating these as like new incredible revelations in how the game is made. But I mean, I would say, look at Mike's reaction to this, and it's just complete exasperation and like, do you guys not play games? What is going on? Blah blah blah.